Hey guys, welcome to episode 104 of the Spare Change Challenge on Ignition Poker. Getting started a little bit late today, so sorry about that, but we were out at a strawberry festival of all things. So we just got back, ate dinner, and now it's time to play some poker. So I'm just trying to get 4 tables going here. I might go ahead and play this one heads up. Don't normally play heads up, but this guy's a short stack, so that's a sign that he's potentially a weak player. That's always a preliminary read you give somebody, and he does limp the first hand. We probably have the best hand here. So I can't really check call, so I'm just going to lead. And we'll plan on just seeing how he reacts to 100% opening percentage here. Probably not going to see about that kind of board heads up. I think we just try to get to showdown at this point. Probably have the nuts right now. I don't know. Did that pretty quick on the river. I mean, could he certainly have a 10 here, I guess. He could also have just a flush draw that he checked once, then hit it, then checked again. It's very polarizing. I don't think he does this with a 7 or a 10, really. So I think he either has a flush, some kind of weird slow play, or nothing. So I'm going to call. And he does have a flush, which obviously that's when he's polarized, he's going to have that sometimes. But I think most of the time it's just a bluff there when he does that. Because I think when he makes his flush, most players would actually lead the turn, trying to build a pot, right? So I would discount the fact that he would have a flush there very often. So I like my call. We'll fold to his first 3-bet if he 3-bets here. We only have ducks, so make a little protection bet here. So I think this a short stack will tend to 3-bet shove a lot of his aces. So unless he has a jack or a heart draw, he's just going to fold. And he does look like a fishy player, so we're just going to play pretty straightforward against him. Going for value again. Probably check call this river. And we do have the best hand anyway. Oh, and he had a deuce. So this guy likes to slow play. That's pretty funny. He's made pretty much the nuts twice on us, and we're actually up here. So we're running bad against him, but still winning. That's a good thing. It could be a tilt shove here. We obviously can't call with 8 high, but we're still going to keep putting the pressure on him. Because he certainly could be tilted after not winning a big pot there after flopping trips. And this is a really good flop for us because this guy may be willing to stack off a little bit lighter or do some kind of move against us because of the last hand. So we're going to bet pretty big on the flop and continue turns, most likely. Unfortunately, he's being a little bit nitty post-flop, which is fine. I mean, it's good. Overall, for our overall game plan. To win bunches of small pots. I'm going to fold a 1 hand. So he hasn't raised yet. This is his first time, so we're just going to give him credit when he does raise, unless he suddenly just starts playing a different style of play. He's open 2 hands straight now, so we'll keep an eye on that. So my HUD isn't working. It's been happening sometimes. I think I had this problem in the past, and it was because my tables were too close to the edge or something. That sounds crazy, right? But I'm not going to discount anything. I'm going to give it a try. Just move it over here to the right, and then we'll move it back in if the HUD takes effect. Did not work. So much for that theory. Probably just get off the table and come back. Usually that fixes it. Three-way, do we lead? Yeah, I guess it's okay. If we don't hit an 8 on the turn or a 9, we're probably done with this hand. However, this guy opens on the button. We only have a couple hands on him. We're definitely defending this type of hand, though. We have 2 overs and a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw. Usually we would be raising this type of hand on the flop. That's what I'm going to do. I'll put pressure on him. Wow, okay. I mean, we're committed, so we obviously don't have fold equity here, but we're still just going to have to get it in. This is basically just a shove. Wow, we're ahead. We were ahead. God. Man, I'm sick of that stuff. I'm sick of losing those, man. We got in like best case scenario there. Best case scenario. This guy's raised a lot in a row. Let's see. I think he's raised 3 buttons in a row. I'm going to go ahead and shove ace-10 because he seems to be opening a lot now. It's like the bottom of my range there in that spot. Oh, wow. We run bad. It can go south quick, can't it, guys? Wow, 2 stacks in 2 hands for no reason. In spots that were definitely plus EV for us, hugely plus EV. We'll look at that hand and see what our equity was. Wow. You know, if I had to read like 3 hands earlier, I wouldn't have done that, but because he had opened 3 straight times, I figured he was opening up after playing nitty early, but apparently he just probably had it all 4 times he opened or something. So let's look at our equity on that prior hand. This is the way my sessions have been starting, though. I seem to drop like 2 or 3, 4 stacks right at the beginning of every session. It's really frustrating. So let's see here. I had 10, 9 of spades versus 9 of hearts, 7 of hearts. That's pretty sick. Oh, okay. Okay, I misread the board. He actually had a straight on the flop. Okay, I feel a little bit better about it now. I mean, I don't feel better that we got it in bad. I just feel better that we didn't get sucked out on. I just realized he had a straight on the flop. Okay. Sorry for that. Yeah, so we still had 18% equity there, believe it or not. Even though he had a straight already. So it wasn't as bad as it looked. So how sick is that we open blind versus blind and we have him dominate and he flops a straight? It's pretty sick. So we can ISO this. We're going to get off this just so we can get our HUD. So we flop a gut shot. I guess we have to continue on that board. He'll have some ace highs in his range we have to try and get him off of. I mean, I know this connects with a lot of limp calling ranges here. We could be ahead still. That's the sick thing here. But he's maybe not the type of player that would bluff. So maybe we can just safely check back here and get to the river. I don't know if we want to rep. I guess we're not going to be able to rep here. So we'll just fold. We sat out here on accident. I didn't mean to. See if we can get on another table real quick. Hopefully we can settle into this session pretty quick and stop dumping stacks. That would be nice. Not sure if this is the same table. Guess it doesn't matter. If you've been following along since I started streaming again, you guys know how bad I've been running this month so far. And I know that doesn't really exist, right? There's no such thing as running good, running bad. There's just this hand, that hand, the next hand. But it's all hindsight, right? You look back and you see, well, then you know you're running bad. I'm not running bad right now. I'm not expecting to lose the next hand necessarily, you know. But looking back, it's definitely been a tough road. Tempting, but if I was a little bit shorter here, I would put it in. But I still have like 18 big blinds, so I could fold. Even though that's a really strong hand to put it in three-way there. This guy's been pretty nitty though, so I imagine this is going to be high pairs a lot. For this much money, or ace king. The ace king would be like our best case scenario. Yep, high pair. We were looking pretty bad there. We're going to raise here just because it plays easier when we raise. I know he slow plays a lot, so we could definitely be beat here. But we're just setting up our price for showdown. Yeah, see, we're outkicked. Oh, man. This is one of those out-pip days, I guess. So far. And it's what sucks is this guy is a fish, like a huge whale, and he's just taking our stacks away from us. Of course, the other guy, it wasn't this guy. He only took one stack from us, but we still lost 2.5 stacks on this table, which isn't a big deal. I mean, we're only playing for 30 big blinds, right? So a stack for us is like no big deal. We haven't even lost a full stack yet, as far as 100 big blinds go. So not a big deal.
Wow! I feel good.
Thank you very much for the follow, Night Vane. I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by. Wow, we have a 90-20 on this table, I just noticed. It's only over 10 hands, but he's still 90-20. There's a 70-20 as well. I guess we can limp this. It's kind of awkward here. I'm not going to call here. Ace 9 is just a trap hand in that spot. Even though I have 2 fish, my hand doesn't play that well post flop. And it's not like I can go crazy if I flop an ace. It's kind of awkward here. I think we just call, play a flop. Yeah, I'm not. I guess some people might call me a short stacker. Some people call 70 big blinds a short stack, but really I'm a cap stacker, 30, 40 big blinds. Short stack would be like 10 to 20 big blinds. I guess we're kind of just gonna have to play this kind of poker right now. I think it's still plus EV to stay in this spot. This guy's pretty aggro. We're committed here. We're just trying to get him to put in with a less, because I think he puts ace high in pre-flop, so I'm pretty sure we have the best hand here most of the time. That's a good river. He'll bluff that one a lot. So unless he has a jack 6-3, we're good here. Yeah. Oh, we're not chopping. Wow, his 7 actually plays. So I'm glad we didn't bet that one, because I'm pretty sure he's going to put it in with his king high. Once again, we were out pipped, which sucks. We're going to keep playing because just for fun. Why not? We're not going to reload. We're going to try and rebuild this. We're going to leave this table with 60 big blinds. We're going to rebuild this up. Although I don't really want to play heads up with this guy. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and play. I can't beat a random hand yet, so I'm going to be a little nitty here. It looks like he just wants to put it in on any hand, so we'll wait till we can beat a random hand. And we might not be able to do that shortly because we have 250 left now. We could certainly put in the queen 9. This is usually when he has aces. Right? Oh, okay, we get him dominated. Hold. And we do. So let's keep it up. Let's double up again. Jack Deuce is good enough to shove here for sure. Plays like almost like a tournament here. Oh wow, now we're dominated. Not a good flop. That is a good turn though. He got it. I'm actually not gonna reload. I'm just gonna leave this table. And we'll pull another one up here. Yeah, not fun to drop 3 stacks on one table just to start our session. Not fun at all. It's like we just missed the big blind here. We're going to limp here just because I think he's going to raise here so often. Yeah, hopefully he's got a weak queen here. That would be pretty sweet. Or 4, 4, 5, 6 here. That'd be cool too. And just play so much easier that way. Is this a post? I think this is a post. Go ahead and 4x it here. Try to shed the poster and just win the blinds in the post. And we have a pretty robust hand in case we do get called. Looks like we have a couple fish in the blinds. This hand plays really well post flop, so we're okay having a fairly large pot. We have an SPR of almost 1 here. If we bet, we're certainly committed. I think I prefer to check back, potentially improve. Although we did get led into by a really passive player. This is really gross. But I just think he just... I mean, there is king 10, 9, 10, right? We have blockers to that. We have a backdoor flush draw. Wow. It's kind of a weird spot. He doesn't have to have a queen here. In fact, I think he checks the queen a lot. I don't know. He could be one of those passive players that just hits top pair and just plays it. This certainly could be like... I think if we just call and we commit on the turn, I mean, I think that's just the best play here. In case he has a hand like 9-10 and he'll give up on the turn, we want to go ahead and call. Wow. Yuck. So we just led with top 2 pair. Okay. One of those days. That's 4 buy-ins so far. We're deeply rolled though. We're not going to do any stop losses or anything. We're going to put in our time here today. As long as we're still playing good. I mean, you could argue for a fold on that flop, but I had an SPR of just less than 1, or a little more than 1. And because there's draws out there, and he is a fish, he could be overvaluing, like, I don't know, anything. I think it's fine to go ahead and just put it in there. But give him a chance to bluff the turn if he happens to be bluffing, which is unlikely. But we did have the backdoor flush draw. And most of the time we'll at least have a 9 as an out and a jack as well. It just happened we kind of worst case scenario there. Again. I mean, we've lost 4 buy-ins, but if you think about it, we had a plus EV shove with ace 10, ran an ace queen. We had a plus EV play with 2 overs and a gut shot, and he had a straight. Nothing you can do about that. And a I mean, obviously you saw the rest of it. And then right there, we flop second pair and a backdoor flush draw on a four-way pot with a low SPR against the fish. I mean, we'd have to be pretty big nits to... I guess we could fold the flop. I mean... I guess we could just be nitty here and flat. I certainly could argue for a shove there. But I just don't have any reads on this guy. Usually when you want to shove, what you do is you find out what this guy's range is, or you look at this guy's range. And if you're like 1 or 2 pips away from being able to shove just heads up, you just basically can add a pip for every 2 people that are involved in the pot. So, I mean, if we're thinking that 9s are plus EV there, or maybe 8s, we probably would need 6s or 7s there to shove. So, I think it's fine. It's plus EV certainly to flat as well. So let's just take the low variance route for once. It's like we're not doing that so far this session. Looks like the games are halfway decent. We have some fish going on here. So we can't. We should think that we should be like a big winner right now, long term, in this type of dynamic. Just keep playing our hands as if it's the only hand we've ever played. Of course, taking the dynamic and the recent past into consideration and the reads, but other than that, we can't let one bad run of cards affect the quality of our play. Or a good run of cards, we can't let that affect the quality of our play. That's kind of what we're focusing on this month, is making sure we're making good quality plays. Now, I mean, obviously we can argue about the Jack-9, but that type of board just has so many draws on it. Has 2 overs and gut shots, open-enders, multiple open-enders, second pairs, a guy just screwing around, you know, with bottom pair or something as well. And, I mean, we got a few more hands on him now, and he looks like he's pretty passive still, so... Hindsight, maybe we should have just taken the nitty route and just folded there, right? Or maybe we just don't ISO there. We just limp the Jack-9 suited, since these guys aren't going to be ISOing that often, maybe. Oh, this is a different player now, but you get the gist. I think we protect our hand here. And potentially get something like pocket fives to fold. It's not impossible, but certainly get hands with a lot of equity to fold versus our 3s. Because obviously all of their cards are going to be live, right? We're going to hang out here because this is a really, really good table. We're not going to leave. This same dynamic pretty much is right here, except the rolls are reversed. Look how good this table is so far. And we might not leave these tables at all. We may just stay on these forever. It's very hard to find 2 whales, so we're probably just going to play as many big blinds as we have. Just keep trying to run it up here. This table has promise as well. Of course, it's just a new table, right? Never mind. Maybe not. I mean, it does look okay with the short stack here. we'll see. And this guy's a fish here, so he's a full stack fish too. So we'll probably hang on to these tables. I did play a short session earlier, late this morning, or right around noon maybe? Maybe 11, I don't remember exactly. And a similar start to this. I think I lost 3 stacks, and I think I was ahead in all 3 all-ins though, which is a little different than this one's been going. But yeah, I think I'm 0 for 7 in all-ins today so far. It's not the kind of start you want. But you know, I've been 0 for 25 before in all-ins straight. I've lost 25 straight all-ins, so it happens. You don't want to repeat history here though. It's a pretty draw-heavy board. Let's check back and try to improve, or just check down, or protect on turns. We're going to protect our hand on this turn. There's still a lot of hands that might continue here. Try to get value from like 10x. Just go for a standard value bet of about 60% pot. Go ahead and lead with the queen 7 here. Wow, 2 calls, okay. Still gonna bet again. Just because there's Jack 10, Jack 9, Ace 10, there's a few hands out there. Okay, now we can fold when the nit raises the turn. I was kind of afraid of that. He probably has a hand like Queen 3, King 3, 5 3 when he does this. Because I think this type of player, if he did flop a huge hand, he'd probably be leading. Unless it's so nutty that, like, maybe a set or something. This guy is a very aggro player, looks like. I think we want to play pots versus this player, so I'm going to call. We have a gut shot in middle pair. Way ahead of his range, right? So we might just have to close our eyes and check call, check call, check call here. And he's very aggro, so we're just going to check call, check call, check call. Let him bluff it off. Oh, he actually has a jack. That's so frustrating. So frustrating. Wow, I thought we had the nuts there. Good thing he didn't bet the river, which he certainly would be a lot with this kind of aggression. I think vacuum. This is pretty marginal here. I'm going to go ahead and fold the jacks. Pretty marginal. I mean, this guy's 14-0 over 7 hands, and now he's raising me from the small blind versus my under the gun. Yeah, I don't think that's pretty marginal. It's probably a slight loser. I probably lose $2 every time I get it in there, which is not good. So we'll be a little bit nitty there. Queens, we certainly get it in. Ace King, we certainly get it in. Maybe suited jacks we would get in there, if there were such a thing. That's probably the cusp. I'm just joking, but yeah, but having the suitedness would definitely make it plus EV. I mean, I think if we were hijack, we would have put it in there in that dynamic, considering it's a squeeze. But I think under the gun just makes it a tight fold. All right, what are we double guttered here? We're gonna get raised on this type of flop a lot. But I think betting once, and if we don't improve, we check fold, is probably the way to play this hand. Sometimes we'll get a free card for the river too. Sometimes. But when he bets the turn, we're almost never behind there. I mean, ahead. So, but I think he can certainly fold better hands on the flop. Pairs and such, low pairs. I think the price is good enough here. We have to defend the king 9 suited. It's pretty close though. It's a pretty draw heavy flop. I think I like a shove. If somebody has queen 9, 9-7, good game, sir. You got me. But I will certainly get called by jacks, 9x, queen king, hands like that. But I mean, there's not really that many turn cards we're going to be in love with there, except for a jack or 10. So I just like the overbet shove there. So we have the aces. If I were 30 big blinds or more, I would have 3x'd it here because we do have the 80-10 in the hand. But I think with 26 big blinds, we just min raise here. We're going to be able to commit on every single flop, so. Get 1 call, 2 calls. All right, good deal. It's a board that's going to connect fairly well with his range for calling in the blinds there. So hopefully he has like king, queen, and the money just goes in. I think we can check back at that turn and then call any river. Yeah, he flopped the nuts on us. So this is one of these sessions. Luckily he didn't raise us on the flop. Wow. So that's the second time we've had the nut straight flopped on us. What are you going to do, right? But we did not lose our whole stack that time. That's good. Wow, would have flopped a flush here. I thought about calling because this guy's pretty fishy, but the price just wasn't right, I don't think. I think it needed to be 4-way for that price. So we have the jacks. Bet a little bit big here on this flop. And we do not improve, so we'll... Wow, this guy's 3-betting fairly wide. Oh, okay, this guy's almost all in. I'm just going to stick the rest in, because I just realized this guy's short, so... pretty simple shove here for us. We're way ahead of this guy's range. Yeah. Looks like we've got almost the nuts here, if it'll hold. I mean, it's a small pot, but it's a start. We got to start somewhere, right? Baby steps. I think that was our fish though, so probably leave this table. Alright, I guess this hand plays itself. That's not necessarily a bad thing. This guy's pretty fishy, so he'll be calling with a lot of just ace X, small pair type hands. Hopefully this is ace king here, because if not, we're crushed. I mean, we do have the dead money. Okay, good deal. So we got best case scenario here. So we had a triple up with the hand that's ahead. That's always a good thing. We have the ace of clubs, so we're not really worried about a club turn, so we're going to bet normal here. Unfortunately, they don't go for it. And there's no fish yet on this table again, so we'll just leave. Go ahead and take a seat on another table first so we don't get put right back on this table. We do want this table back, however. If that's a possibility, it doesn't always work out. It's worth a try. I mean, if they're going to allow you to do that, we might as well take advantage of it. Different table, I believe. Yeah, because this was 123 stack before. Is it worth trying to get back on it again? Might be. Maybe we'll try. Since we're sitting out next big blind anyways, we gotta wait a while anyway, why don't we try? I think it's another table, but I don't think it's the one we wanted. Oh, we'll just stay on this one, forget it. Because I think that was a 70-something stack, wasn't it? The one we just left. Hello, those that are just joining. Regardless, we gotta wait a whole time around, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. It's kind of funny. I kind of just made a plan to be a little bit nitty this month and take the low variance plays. It's kind of funny. It seems like there have been a few times where I've opted to take the higher variance play just because I thought it was more plus EV to do so, and every single time we've ran into the nuts or just gotten boned, you know, in some way. So, see, I should stick to my plans, right? Do we check shove this with this stack size? This guy's not going to bet very often, though. Even though he has one aggression factor, I think this is a spot where most people will bet a lot, often. So we're just going to bank on the fact that this guy's probably not going to have a king that often. Because what are the odds he has a king, right? He's in a spot that should be betting like almost 100% when we check to him. This guy could have a king. I think with this amount of money in there, we just go ahead and put it in now. If somebody has a king, you got me. I got outs, right? I think with this dynamic, we have to put it in with a second pair. We only have $10 behind, right? We can't flop top pair, have that SPR with that amount of money, and just not put it in here when we have the jack. Especially the fact that this guy bet when we check to him, which he should be wide. So we could have queen 10, 7x, worse jacks, 9, 10. Once this guy calls, it's a little bit annoying. We really want like a 5 on the river. That's actually a really good card for us. So I think we're good here a lot, unless this guy has a king. Which is possible. If anybody's going to have a king, it's probably player 1. I don't think player 5 has a king here very often. Hopefully this tank is he's thinking about bluffing, not that he has a king and he's going to pretend like he's weak here. Yeah, that's probably what this is. He has a king. Oh, or he has an heir. What the hell? See what I mean? This is why I didn't fold the jack earlier with the jack 9, because people like this do crazy things. I mean, he has low aggression factor, and for whatever reason, he just did that. I think I'll limp this. This is kind of crazy. I probably shouldn't make this play. But when somebody loses a pot like that, either of these players will ISO wide at that. Oh no. Don't you. Please don't. You better not frickin'. Oh man. If this kicks me off the table, I'm gonna be very upset. I'm gonna screenshot this. Come on. This is part of the new changes. This has been happening. Okay. Whew. Okay, so I think we just make it like 13 here. But we got kicked off the other tables. That's kind of fortunate for us. I don't think we had any reads anywhere. Yeah, we did. We'll sit here. Player 5. We'll sit here. This is hopefully like ace king here. That would be really sweet. We don't have any reads on this table. How many hands have we played? Maybe we'll find a. We'll replace this table maybe. Because it looks like 3 full stacks. Wow. Okay, we got a 3-way all in. That's pretty awesome. Oh, no spade on the turn. Whew. Oh man, $800 or $108 pot. That's pretty awesome. That felt good. Why did he get the? Did you see he got the spade on the turn? The only chance he has to win the pot, and he gets it on the turn. That is just crazy. Make me have to have a heart attack here, because that's like a session-saving pot. Right, that's one of the bigger pots we've won at 100 to now. And you know we're leaving this table only up $5 after all that. Is that right? Holy cow, is that right? That can't be right. So we lost 2 buy-ins on that table before we won that one, I guess. Oh, that's right, we were down to... Didn't we lose 2 buy-ins and then we were down to... Were we down to... what were we before that hand? Were we down to like $12? I'm going to look back in the histories here. I'm just curious. Hopefully that disconnect didn't screw up. And this table doesn't look very good. I'm going to go ahead and get off this one. That about gave me a heart attack. We're going to refresh these tables. Holy cow. Okay, so that hand was that one. Okay, give me a second here. Alright, we started that last hand with the Jack 10 with... if I can find it here. Is it not telling me? Okay, yeah, we started with $12. So we went from $12 to $108 in 2 hands. That is pretty freaking awesome. Maybe that'll be something that jumpstarts our forward progress here and gets a little momentum going, because I think that might get us... Yeah, I hear you, Night Vane. That's that was a pretty sick hand, but you know what? That's the first time we've had a hand like that, where we've gotten it in versus aces versus ace king versus another hand. So that's the first time that something like that extreme has happened in like 30,000 hands or something. So it's not like it's a common occurrence, although you do see stuff like that online all the time because there's just more hands per hour. I'm just going to go through the hands here. I'm just curious how many stacks I had lost on that table. I don't know if that, since it refreshed, I don't know if Hold'em indicator was accurate there. Yeah, that's the same table we had lost versus Queen Jack when the guy had flopped. This is a little loose, but we have this guy in the pot, so I think it's okay. Um, we obviously played a lot of hands on that table. We're not going to do anything here unless we turn a king 8 or a heart. Alright, just pot it, dude. Just go with the pot. Man, I played a lot of hands on that table. Okay, so, yeah, we didn't lose a stack on that table. I don't know why it said we were only up $5. It's obviously just a glitch because the table's refreshed. Um, but we were up. Well, I guess we come with 30 and we leave with 70. What's that? 78 bucks. So yeah, we were up. We netted close to up 3 buy-ins there. So that makes up for the 3 all-ins we started up. We lost with immediately, right? So good times. That's the most satisfying sessions is where you start out running like ass and then you somehow end up only down a little bit or break even or slight winner. Those are the most, I don't know why, but because you would think, well, the most satisfying sessions are I was up 8 buy-ins or something, right? But you think about it, if you ever do that, you're like, oh, you feel good about yourself, but you're like, oh, well, I'm supposed to do that good, right? So it's not a big deal, and everybody has kind of a smug, everybody's got ego, right? They think, well, that's what's supposed to happen every time because I'm the best in the world. And so I think you appreciate it more when you run like ass and end up break even. Um, so we're definitely opening this hand. Probably calling if this guy opens, just because we have these guys. These guys, use guys. I don't know what that was supposed to be. So, I went ahead and bought GTA 5. This is completely off subject, but you guys know I like um, gaming. I was a gamer a long time ago. I was one of the original gamers back in the mid 90s and early 90s on the online, the first graphical online games. Like Meridian 59, I was a beta tester, and you got to pretty much 38 plus to even know what the hell I'm talking about here. But Meridian 59 came out. It was beta testing in 94 and 5, and then it went live in 96. And I was on server 100, which was the lowest server. And this is obviously not a great spot for us. We could be drawing dead here. So I think we'll give up. We'll give up the 9-8 here. So anyways, not to get off subject, even though I haven't done it since I basically got married that much, I still love those type of games. And I have a neighbor across the street that plays Grand Theft Auto, and that's all he does pretty much. He's a teacher, and just that's what he spends his nights doing. And I've been playing that 7 Days to Die with my brother. I like the zombie genre. I was into comic books, and I actually collected some of the old horror comic books back in the day. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I've always liked that type of thing. Not horror, not the jumping out at you type of horror, but horror where you have to suspend disbelief. I can't talk. Suspend this disbelief just a little bit, but it's things that actually you believe could possibly happen. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility that it could happen. You know, like Psycho, obviously that type of movie. Not just that though. That's more the jumping out at you type. But like the zombie fiction, I mean, who knows? A zombie virus could happen, right? You never know. So that type of stuff always intrigues me. Historical stuff, you know, I like that stuff too. Anyway, so I tried GTA 5 just because I found out there was a zombie mod. It's pretty damn realistic. So I've been playing a little bit of that, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour a day, just at odd times. So if you guys want me to, I could stream a little bit of that stuff. We could like at nighttime when I'm not doing poker, when I wouldn't be doing poker. It's not like I'm going to take away from my poker time. But I thought about doing a stream like that and just starting with a character in the zombie mod and just trying to survive and just maybe give him a little bit of a backstory just for fun, you know. Try and recruit people, make a survivor camp, that type of stuff. If you guys have played that game, the mod is Simple Zombie, and it looks pretty damn cool. I'm going to flat one street because there's so many good turn cards for me, and this could be a 9 or 5, and I could take it away from him later anyway. So I think we'll call, and depending on his bet sizing on the turn, we might raise the river. Probably not now. We're going to call, though. Alright, so we had an ace. Oh, ace 9. Oh, that's so funny. It's a good thing the river didn't give us a straight. It's pretty funny, man. How many times are we going to run into the nuts today? Golly. The good thing is I think people are kind of getting the, except for 1 or 2 times, people are getting like the minimum from us when they hit the nuts. That's, I mean, ace 9, really? I know it's in his range, but it's just crazy. And I think if he pots the river, I probably have to call there. Because it's so polarizing. Oh, he definitely won the minimum. I mean, I could have folded the flop too, but it's hard to fold a backdoor straight flush draw on the flop, you know, for $1. One big blind. It's hard for me anyway. As you know, I'm an optimist when it comes to that type of stuff. Probably too much. Not as much as I am when I play tournament poker, but definitely still am. As long as the price is right. Yeah, so I'm a little bit wary of a 33-7 limping, but I think he's also going to have like 7s, 6s, 5s that he might call my shove with. And certainly like king, queen possibly. And it could also be just a trap, but and the longer he takes, the more I think it might be a trap. So I hope he acts quickly, because I think he might be thinking of whether just a flat or shove to ISO. So unfortunately, we don't get a call from a worse hand, but that's okay. We'll take the dead money. Anyway, just let me know. Email me or in chat if you guys want to see me do a little bit of... we'll definitely do some nighttime tournaments at some point, but maybe do something fun at some point. Just for the hell of it, we're going to leave this table. I don't like the way it looks. Oh, I think I broke protocol on how to not get on the same table again. Shit. I don't know if this is the same table or not. I'm going to assume it is. Try again. It looks like it might be. Probably just got the same damn table again. This guy's short and this guy's short. Maybe I'll just stay on this one. Maybe this is a different one. We'll see. I mean, worst case scenario, it's the same table and we're in the same spot. It's not like we're not going to make our position worse by moving tables, because I don't think it got much worse than that table we were on. It was a couple, I think at least 4 regs. The guy to our left might have been a fish. I'm not sure. We could be good here, so I'm going to go ahead and try to check it down. And obviously, a 3 of clubs isn't folding this river, so I'm not going to bet. So I guess it's a moot point at this point. Wow, we've been playing for... Oh, I thought I folded. We've been folding... folding. We have been folding a lot. We've been playing... Actually, we haven't. We've been playing for 55 minutes. I try to keep these sessions under or about an hour. But we might play a bonus 15 minutes or something. So we're kind of having fun here. We might be up to break even for the session, so let's see if we can make it a winning session, right? All thanks to that one pot, right? I think we've only won a couple small pots besides that. So there's no scenario ever where I fold the 10s pre-flop here with 17 big blinds. This guy's 13-0. I think he's going to have a lot of hands like 7s. Right? So we'll hope to get called by that, and not or a suited connector, which you'll fold anyway. So it's not that we want the 7-8 to fold or whatever he could have suited connectors. It's the fact that we are gonna get called by his pairs, mid pairs. So I think the fact that he's going to, I mean, unless he connects really hard with the board, he's not continuing with his suited connector. So unless we get beat with it, so I'm just saying it's better to take the value from the times we get called when he's got the parts of his range that we're crushing, rather than let him see a flop with a 7-8, which he's going to check fold most of the time anyway. So we're losing just a small amount of money there, but the times he calls with the 7s or 8s, or whatever, 5s, 6s, we're getting all the money then, or 80% of the equity then, if that makes sense. It's just we got to think about 100 iterations of that, not just this specific time. I mean, it probably feels bad because he's going to fold a lot. But if you do that 10 times straight against his range for limping there, I think you're going to see the biggest EV bottom line at the end of that journey by shoving rather than doing a small raise or something. We're shutting down here. We did not improve. We got 2 calls on this board. 6 completes some stuff. We'll fight for this one here though with 2 overs and backdoor. Backdoor straight draw. Played a shit ton of hands on this table, 50. That's a lot of hands. I'm taking we're not winning at showdown. 0 for 2. So we're 31-22 on that table. That's a little bit looser than we normally run lately. For a lot of this challenge, we were in the 28-22 range, right? 28-24. I think we're more like the 25-19 range, something like that. So we've tightened up a little bit. I think you have to a little bit because people do play back at you a little more as you move up. So you have to tighten your range or you're going to get pwned by light 3-betting. We have aces again. We are 1 for 2 with aces tonight. But the one that we did win, we got nearly 3 stacks with. Dream scenario, right? Get it in versus ace king and jack 6. And jack 6 almost got us. After we flop a set, we had a chance to lose on the turn when a spade came. This guy's 0-0. Let's just do that. Oh, no. No. Oh, well, at least we hit the trips here, right? We're going to bet pretty small here. There's really no turn card we're going to dislike. So we want to keep a wide range in. We'll try to get this in over 3 streets. Okay. Oh, that's pretty funny. Do we protect or just check back? I think we check back. That's pretty funny. That was a little gift, wasn't it? What is he doing here with the $10? I don't know what he's doing with the $10 here. I guess he just backdoored something. I mean, I'm not calling. I'm just curious on what he would be doing that with. I'm going to bet fold this river now. We got a pretty bad river for our hand. So it's just a bet fold now. I think he's just going to have a ton of flushes in his range when he does this. Or better hands than ours. He's not going to raise here without at least a flush. So I think it's just boat or flush. It's a pretty bad river for us if he doesn't have... I mean, if he has just like a 1-pair hand, it's a pretty bad river because we're not going to get paid off for another street. So welcome to those just joining. We've played about an hour now, so we're gonna play a little bit more. A little bit more. I think go an hour 10-15 is okay. We do want to keep the video size down, just I think it's easier for people to digest. I think we bet this turn here. Bet fold and then check back rivers. I think it plays easier that way. So we're going to be just completely in left field, not know what the hell's going on if we check back that turn. Oh, poster and pocket tens. This is a really good situation right here. Yep. So good that I'm going to shove. There's $4 sitting out there ready for me just to take. Who knows? This guy might post and call with Jack 5, you know? Wouldn't be the first time. We'll certainly limp the nut non-suited nothing here. 9-10's a pretty awesome hand. I think we do bet if it checks around. Okay, Mr. 0-0 over 15 hands. Yeah, something like that's good. I think no matter what we bet here, club draws, kings, none of that stuff's folding anyway. But now we get to have 5x stay in the hand, maybe Jack 9, maybe Queen 9, because we bet small. So I think a check call means we're ahead here. And it just entirely depends on the turn card as to what we do next. It's not the greatest turn card because there's a ton of jacks that will continue now. I think in a three-way we'd just check back now and just hope we're good at showdown. Maybe people will be less likely to bluff in a three-way, so we don't have to worry too much about getting bluffed here. I think if he's got us beat here, it's going to be like I don't know. Would Queen Jack play this way? Jack 10? Don't have any reads. I don't know that Queen Jack does this. So I think this could be busted flush draws. So anyways, it's very polarizing. It's either two pair, a set, or a busted draw. And there's a ton of busted draws. The only problem is it was three-way. We don't have to be good that often. I'm going to pay him off. Yeah, exactly Queen Jack, and he decided to bet the river. That's pretty crazy. Most people would check that river because it just looks like I have a king. So that's a pretty... I mean, if he knows who I am, that I'm capable of making calls there, it's a really good merging bet. But I think against the field of ignition, that's a pretty bad bet. Because I'm going to have some busted draws that I might bluff there too. This guy doesn't give me any reason to think he's bluffing here, so I'm just going to fold. I mean, he should know I'll be ISOing this wide, but this guy is not 50-40 or something like that. He's 22-11 over a small sample with 0.2 aggression. So I'm just going to go with the minimal read that I have and just fold. Ace Queen would have been a little tougher. I think I might have had to put it in with Ace Queen. I don't know. We have a club, so we're not really too afraid of a club turn as much. So we're just going to bet normal here. We could certainly shove here as well, or bet bigger. That's a couple options, but we certainly need to bet with that texture. Okay. I don't know. We playing good today? Playing bad? I don't know. I might be playing bad. I don't know if that call was still questionable on the 9-10. I mean, I think heads up it was an easy just boom call, right? But the fact that was it limped or was it raised? I guess it doesn't matter at this point. What really matters is it was three-way, so that leans him more towards value. However, the hand, I knew we could have a hand that would hit a jack. So Queen Jack, I just thought frequency-wise he would be checking that hand. So I figured if he did hit a jack, he would be checking most of the time. But he did make some weird mergey value bet there in the river, which is not really a good thing to do on this site versus this player pool. And he hasn't played enough hands with me to know that would have been a good. If we had like a big history on a site, I mean, it's one thing, right? And I think if he was in my spot and my opponent was check calling like that, it would be a good value bet. Otherwise, it's hard to get called by worse there most of the time. So it worked out for him. I'm not knocking the bet. It was a good bet. But I think long term, it's not a good bet. I think he's going to show a loss doing that on this site. Vacuum. So we double up here. I guess we open the ace king. That's a good result. I mean, this guy's 5-5, but he's 3-bet 2 out of 7 now. So when he plays a pot, does he 3-bet? I mean, it's a small sample. We can't make anything of this. I mean, it could just be very card dead and steal spots. I mean, we have ace king suited, so we're certainly not folding. And this is a spot people 3-bet light nowadays anyway. And that's not too light, but it's so we hit the nuts on the turn, and we hold. That's a good turn for us. Much better than a king turn. So we get another stack here. We might be up this session. And if you had watched the beginning of this session, you guys would be amazed. And if you had like gone back to the future, you would be like, there's no way he ever has a winning session here. Of course, we won't know because we're not going to look. I don't even know what I started the session with, and I don't know what I'm ending up with, so it doesn't matter. I don't want to know. We're deeply rolled. We're just going to play our sessions out. I think against this is the type of player you want to do this kind of move against. Third and go. This is the hand and the move and the situation that this move was designed for. Third and go. So. Yep. So we'll play this revolution out and call it a session. Excuse me. Alright. And if you're enjoying this stream and learning anything, be sure to follow the channel. And if you wouldn't mind stopping in on YouTube sometime and liking my videos as well there, it really helps me. I appreciate that. Um, okay, Mr. Passive, you can have it. I'm not falling into that. That cesspool. It's a dead end road right there. I'm either raising or folding. I just don't have too many backdoor possibilities there. Front door, back door. It's not the greatest flop in the world, but I think we still have to see bet because we have crap. We do have some room to improve on the turn. Could go diamond. That's one of the worst turn cards. I mean, it's not the worst if we wanted just to be a complete airball bluff here, and it might be okay to do that sometimes, but I just don't think you're going to make a lot of long-term money building big pots with this, with absolutely no chance of winning the hand. We're just going to fold to the dollar, not worry about it. It's kind of irrelevant what he bets there. We're never ahead. We have probably no chance to get a fold. I like to have some way to spike a river, usually. And the fish set out here. So we're going to be done with this. I'm going to go ahead and shove the ace-9. I think it's fine with 16 big blinds. Yeah, we're done for the session here. I'm going to go and play a little bit more off air here, but we're done for this live session. I want to keep it down to a minimum for YouTube. But we'll go ahead and play this hand out. Same thing here. We're going to try and take it down right now. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching. It's been a lot of fun. It's definitely a fun session. We didn't run great, at least early on. We had one really great hand this session, and the rest were kind of crap. I mean, I guess we had a couple other all-ins that we had the guy just do crazy stuff, and we profited. But other than that, you know, I mean, that's poker, right? You can have your ups and downs. You never know what's coming next. Otherwise, it would be boring, right? So thanks again for watching, and we will see you on Tuesday, unless I decide to do some kind of bonus stream or something on tomorrow or Monday. So thanks again. We'll talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.